What's up guys? So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to build an American flag. So some things that you'll need right there. You need some minimal tools, like a table saw, chop saw would help, but you don't absolutely need those tools. It just makes it a lot faster. So first things first, you want to grab your 10-foot long board and cut 3 pieces down to 37 inches long. After you're all set with the chop saw, I bring out my table saw here and get it all set up. So now you're going to be making 13 stripes, and each one is going to be 1.5 inches. So you want to set your saw at 1.5 inches. Make sure you measure from the teeth over to the fence, because that will make about 1/8 of a difference. Since you're going to be cutting them down so slim, I would definitely recommend using a push stick. It's a lot safer, and wearing safety goggles. This I would highly not recommend, just because my fingers are far too close to the joining blade here, and this step you don't need to do anyways. I just like to make my edges nice and flat, so when I go to glue up the board, the flag, everything fits together perfectly, since I'm using Home Depot lumber. But like I said, it's not needed at all. Alright, so here, now you're going to start lightly sanding that. If I were to do this again, I would definitely take my 3 boards that I cut originally the length and sand them then. I wouldn't do it at this point in time, just because it makes it a lot harder to sand, because you're sanding 13 stripes instead of 3 boards. It just makes it a lot easier, and it'll probably be a lot quicker. I use about 100 to 150 grit here. You don't need anything crazy, just to smooth it out. Then after you're done with that, grab a propane torch or a larger torch, anything that you might have, and I start burning the stripes. Every stripe gets about the same burn in it. For this one, I try to burn the edges as I'm going as well, just so when you put everything together, it has like a nice crease along each stripe. Definitely make sure that you're going back and burning the edges as well. I forgot to do that in the beginning here, but as the video goes on, I did it off camera. The burns are what gives it a very nice rustic look. So here, after you're done burning the whole front side, you're going to want to take your union stencil. I got mine on Amazon, I'll leave that in the description, and clamp everything together so it's nice and tight. And you want to just trace a nice mark going down the end of the stencil on the right hand side of the stencil. That will be your lines where you're going to put your razor blades, and that's going to cut off the grain so the stain won't bleed through from the blue union over to the red stripes. Likewise for the white stripes. And there, like I said, there's no specific measurement for this. I would just take your union stencil and make a nice clean line going down with a pencil, and then I just hammer those razor blades right in there. I'm not sure who came up with this style of doing it, but it's a really great idea. I'm not sure who came up with it first, but I'll leave a link in the description to a couple guys that I've seen do the whole razor blade trick. It's a really great idea, and it helps a lot. So now I'm taking the crimson blue stain, and I'm painting it on there with a foam brush. You don't need any specialty brushes, just get a foam brush, they work great. So the blue stain is, the crimson blue is a very sort of light stain, so you don't need to put a heavy coat on it or wipe it off. The red I would recommend to wipe off because it's a heavier stain and it will be sticky if you don't wipe it off. You can wipe both of them if you fear that it'll get sticky. That's totally fine. You might just have to do a couple coats. So here now I'm coming back, and you want to flip everything back over onto its face and clamp everything together. I use blocks on the edge so it doesn't damage my flag at all, which I would definitely recommend, and using around 3 clamps. It'll just bring everything together nice and tight. And take a hammer and hammer everything down. So I did this off camera, but I cut 4 backers, and I cut the backers at around 19 inches or so, because your overall flag is 19.5 inches wide. And then I pre-drilled all the backers on each one of the stripes, just right in the middle. I just lined it up by eye, pre-drilled it with a 1/8 inch drill bit, and then glued it down and screwed everything with sheetrock screws. Each sheetrock screw is only 1 inch long, so it doesn't protrude through the face of the American flag. So now once you have everything screwed up, you're gonna bring it back, lay it on its face, proceed to burn everything on the back. Everything in the middle, all the backers, just real quick, and it'll just give it a nice uniform look for the entire flag. So here I sped it up for you real quick just to show you exactly what I mean. Just give the whole back a nice burning look. So now you're going to take your Union stencil and you're going to tape it onto the blue Union best you can, just right in the middle. Just eye it up. It's not extremely important as long as the stars are nice and straight. So I've come to find out that if I go and I trace all the stars out with a pencil, and then I outline the stars with a 1/2 inch chisel before I chisel each star out, it comes out a lot better and it comes out faster. So after you're done outlining all the stars, you can use your 1/2 inch chisel just to trace everything out. You can use your 1/2 inch chisel just to chisel all the stars out.